Constitutional entities have been ensured independent identities and jurisdictions by the Constitution of Nepal. However, interventions from the legislative and the executive have obstructed efficient operation of such entities, including the likes of the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Disputed Finance Minister Janardan Sharma makes effort to change the Finance Secretary. Questions surface regarding what compelled Prime Minister Deuba and CPN Maoist Chair Dahal to reappoint Sharma. Anti-graft body CIAA ineffective in investigating cases of corruption. Constitutional commissions have become ineffective due to interventions of the legislative and executive. President Joe Biden confirms the U.S. has killed the leader of Al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, in a drone strike in Afghanistan, says justice has been delivered as the terrorist leader is no more. And West Indies defeat India by 5 wickets in the second T20 match of the 5-match series. Series leveled at 1-1. The reappointment of Janardan Sharma as the finance minister has been an issue of dispute and criticism, while the public have also expressed dissatisfaction regarding the same. However, parties in the ruling coalition seem to be ignoring the moral and ethical questions. Questions have also surfaced regarding what compelled CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal and Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba to repeat Sharma as the finance minister. Reappointment of Janardan Sharma as the Minister for Finance has raised several questions regarding the intent and accountability of the government and the parties in the ruling coalition. The move has been seen as CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Dahal's effort to balance power inside the party, while parties in the alliance have taken this development as a normal procedure. While appointment of another person would have sent a positive message, members of the coalition parties have stressed the reappointment should not be taken otherwise. Meanwhile, analysts have said that the ruling parties have gone against the public sentiments with Sharma's reappointment. They have added that the public should respond with their votes during the upcoming provincial and parliamentary elections. CPN Maoist Center leader Janardan Sharma, who was in dispute as he was accused of presenting a budget against the benefit of the nation, has been more criticized after being reappointed as the finance minister. Janardan Sharma, who has been reappointed as the finance minister despite receiving flack from all corners, reached the finance ministry before 10 yesterday morning. He was busy all day yesterday meeting party cadres and his well-wishers. He spent some time meeting heads of divisions under the finance ministry and held discussions on the implementation of the budget and even handed some directives. He even held discussions and took suggestions from his close associates and advisors on replacing current Finance Secretary Madhukumar Marasini with Krishna Hari Pushkar or someone else. Minister Sharma is in search of a reliable Finance Secretary ahead of the upcoming elections. He also wants to finish the task of distributing licenses to companies that are under the bodies of his ministry. Analysts say Minister Sharma also has the compulsion of fulfilling the vested interests of the top brass leaders of the ruling coalition. According to a finance ministry source, Minister Sharma is holding discussions in an effort to establish a new stock exchange. As the finance ministry is responsible of providing the permission, Minister Sharma is bent on getting the task done to get the cooperation from businessmen. The ruling coalition is also in a gambit to give the responsibility of the transactions of petroleum products to the private sector. Sharma was reappointed as the finance minister with the support of the leaders of the ruling coalition parties at a time when huge amounts of expenses have to be managed for the upcoming parliamentary and provincial elections. Helicopters need to be purchased for security personnel, among others. Constitutional commissions have grown ineffective because of the interventions of the legislative and the executive. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, or CIAA, is a recent example of such inefficiency. More than 8,000 complaints have been filed at the CIAA, and of them, 820 are of special nature. However, with cases piled up, investigation has not progressed in the required pace. As per the constitutional arrangements, the CIAA, Election Commission, and the Human Rights Commission, among other commissions, are independent in nature. However, these entities have yet to become effective because of the interventions from the legislative and the executive. Complaints against corruption have been increasing every day at the anti-graft body. However, the CIAA has not been able to investigate into the cases in an efficient manner. During the term of the previous government led by former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, the Constitutional Council had appointed 52 officials at different commissions, including the Chief Commissioner at the CIAA. A case was filed against the appointments at the Supreme Court. The case has remained stranded at the Apex Court, which, according to former administrators, has created hurdles for the CIAA to operate in an efficient manner. Of the 24,000 cases filed in the past 2 years, around 8,000 with 820 special cases are yet to be addressed. At a time when the conclusion of the investigation remains uncertain, the anti-graft body has claimed that regular investigations are underway. The CIAA has been identified as an independent and powerful authority to ensure good governance. To secure this identity, the CIAA must be free from interventions of the legislative and the executive. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why has the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority failed to perform? Your options are A, lack of leadership, B, political intervention, and C, lack of skilled human resources. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It has been 15 years since the Maoist insurgency ended. However, victims of the conflict era have yet to receive justice, as the government has formed laws that victims say are lenient on the perpetrators of heinous crimes. The government has extended the tenure of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission by 3 months, as its extended term ended in mid-July. The commission was formed back in 2015 to facilitate justice delivery for the victims of the Maoist insurgency period. Discussions on legal provisions are underway to conclude these insurgency-era cases. However, victims have been protesting, saying that the laws do not have provisions that define punishment for individuals that have committed serious crimes. They have said the laws formed so far intend to give impunity to the perpetrators, and that the victims have not been allowed the chance to appeal on the verdicts handed out by the special court. Chairperson of the Law Committee has also raised concerns on the draft of the laws. Meanwhile, leaders of the then rebel side have opined that decisions should be taken with a consensus among all stakeholders. Depositors at the capital's Gautam Sri multipurpose cooperatives have filed more complaints at the cooperatives department, demanding the department arrest the cooperatives' operators and reimburse their lost deposits. It has been understood that over 2,500 members of public had deposited up to 250 million rupees into the cooperatives. According to the Department of Cooperatives, a dozen cooperatives have mishandled around 11 billion rupees deposited by the public. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what should be done to control fraudulent activities at cooperatives. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
स्थानीय सरकारको जिम्मामा छ कि हाम्रो जनता, हाम्रो समाज, हाम्रो किसान यो ठगीबाट कसरी बच्छ।
ऐनमा जे छ त्यो अनुसारको सजाय हुनु पर्यो।
लगानी गरेका मान्छे भरपर्दा छन् कि छैनन्, राष्ट्र बैंकमा दर्ता छ कि छैन, सबै कुरा बुझेर मात्रै सहकारीमा खाता खोल्नुपर्छ।
सहकारीहरूले थोरै ब्याजमा सबैलाई ऋण लगानी गर्दै मान्छेहरू ठगिने थिएनन्।
उपभोक्ताहरू पनि सचेत हुनुपर्छ।
निरन्तर सबै सहकारीहरूलाई चाहिँ अनुगमन गर्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ
प्रशासनले कारबाही गर्ने नै हो।
के कस्तो छ सबैको निगरानी लिएर मात्रै हामी प्रवेश गर्न पाइन्छौँ।
कति कहाँ के लगानी छ त्यो पारदर्शिता देखाउन सक्नु खालको मान्छेहरू चयन गर्न सक्नुपर्छ।
जनताले विश्वास गर्ने लायकको व्यक्ति मात्रै त्यस संस्थामा बस्न सक्नु पर्यो।
इमानदारीपन हामीमा बढी हुनुपर्छ।
The festival of Nag Panchami is being observed by Hindus across the country today by worshipping Nag, or the snake god, and pasting a picture of the Nag above the main door of the house. There is belief that pasting the picture of the snake god safeguards the family from snakes and scorpions, as well as from fire and lightning. The Nag is worshipped by offering cow milk, grass, rice pudding, and sweets. Worshipping the snake god is believed to have started from the Vedic time. Special worshippings are carried out in Nagpokhri and Taudaha in Kathmandu, Siddhapokhri in Bhaktapur, and other ponds and shrines across the country today. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal are clashing against Bangladesh at the SAF Under-20 Championship today. The match is scheduled to kick off at 4:15 p.m. Nepal time in Bhubaneswar, India. Nepal had suffered a humiliating 8-0 loss to India in their last match last Sunday. Nepal had won the opening match against the Maldives 4-0 and blanked Sri Lanka 3-0. A win today is not sufficient for Nepal to reach the finals. Nepal will have to win today and have a better goal difference than India. India are facing the Maldives today. If Nepal lose today, they will crash out of the tournament. Players of the national team have questioned the domestic football structure after Team Nepal were thrashed 8-0 by India in the SAF Under-20 Championship on Sunday, underway in Bhubaneswar, India. In social media posts, the players have alleged the All Nepal Football Association ANFA of not paying any attention towards youth programs. In addition to that, they have also made the Football Governing Authority aware regarding possible impacts of ignoring youth programs on the national team. Team Nepal suffered a humiliating 8-0 defeat against India in their third match of the SAF Under-20 Championship on Sunday. It was Nepal's worst defeat in history of the age group. Having secured a 4-0 win over the Maldives in the first match and humbling Sri Lanka 3-0 in the second match, Nepal had inched closer to the tournament final. Despite the aspirations of performing better against India, Nepal's performance was disappointing. The result is a reflection of football standards of Nepal. Players of the national team have termed the crushing defeat a consequence of the absence of regular age group football tournaments. In a social media post, Bikram Lama has said that Nepal's young squads used to be very strong in South Asia. Domestic tournaments of age groups including under-16, under-17 and under-18 used to sharpen the skills and enhance the standards of the players. The ANFA Academy also used to produce quality players who are currently in the senior squad. However, with the age group tournaments now ignored, the impact is slowly being seen in the age group teams and the national squad as well. Another senior player, Shrestha, has lamented at the experience of players having to play amidst absence of facilities. Sharing Shrestha's post, Ananta Tamang has expressed his support to the sentiment. Supporters have criticized ANFA after the result against India. Football analysts have also highlighted Nepal's need to select players through open selection for the tournament, as Nepal currently does not have regular age group tournaments. The ANFA Academy of Lalitpur has remained out of operation for almost 1 year. Other academies in Butwal and Dharan have yet to operate in an efficient manner. In such a situation, the humiliating defeat has come as a wake-up call for ANFA. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.